devil is tempting him and saying, I will give you everybody if you call me God. Bro!
I lean on you niggas like another line of walk. Yeah, it's all eyes on me and I'ma send it up the...
Okay, I look crazy, but I am going on a deep, long, whatever, just like, about what I'm studying or whatever, and it's all clicking! It is all clicking! Bro, it's all clicking. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. And I think it's all clicking because it's like I'm understanding a new way. And it's like, it's more realistic. It's like, it's not like just how I thought about it before. But I'm referring to the temptation of Jesus, like that story and everything. But everything starts with whenever John the Baptist was preaching about Jesus coming. Like, this is where it all started. So you would think it has nothing to do with his temptations, but it does. So John the Baptist, he's talking about, Jesus is coming and he wants you to be righteous, basically, because he's talking to people that are self-righteous, who are self-righteous, but they want God. So they're coming excitedly to John the Baptist, talking about, oh, are you the Messiah? Like, are you the one that is here to, like, change our lives? Which is a good thing. But whatever. So he's talking about, oh, I'm not the one, but there's another that's coming that is far more powerful, far more better than who I am. And he's talking about Jesus, obviously. And so then the next story after that story is Jesus getting baptized. It's a quick little story too, but there's a lot of stuff that is talked about in it. So it's like, some things that I noticed was Jesus was praying after he had been baptized. Which is like, okay, that's good. He prayed, and this is in Luke. So like Luke signifies or says that Jesus has prayed at important moments of his life, which this signifies this is such an important moment of his life, okay? And then second thing is the Holy Spirit descended upon him. And so keep that in mind. The Holy Spirit is with him. He has he feels God's presence, and he knows God is with him. And he knows, like, you know that feeling whenever you have the Holy Spirit, you're just like, I can change the world. So he feels like that, okay? Next story, not even the next story. After genealogy of Jesus, that's where we get the story of Jesus getting tempted. Jesus has the Holy Spirit. He's getting tempted. And, hold on. And so my mind immediately was like, why would he get tempted right after such an amazing event? Like, it's like whenever you have like such a high moment in your life where so much things are going good for you, but like you just feel so good spiritually, and then boom, something just smacks you, like boom, like that. And it's so like, it's not draining, it's just like, oh my God, like your spirit is low, but your spirit's not low because you also grew. I don't know how to explain it. Because, like, you still have what God taught you in that moment of that lifted you spiritually. So then when something hits you, you're here and you're not here. Does that make sense? Okay. So Jesus is here spiritually. And so it says, returned from Jordan. That's where I was like, oh, he still has the Spirit. And it was like, whenever it says filled with the Holy Spirit, it's saying as a result of the descent, I don't know what that means, of the Spirit upon him from the baptism. So what he carried from the baptism is what he's carrying into his temptation or his test with the devil. And mind you, it is 40 days in the desert. 40 days in the desert, in the wilderness. And so where you don't even, completely isolated from any other opinions, from any other, you barely have food, water, anything. So that's when I got to thinking. I was like, okay, let me go through my checklist. Jordan is where he just came from. Still has the Holy Spirit. and he's in the desert, which is a place of isolation. And then to be tempted by the devil. And then I got to thinking, why would he be tempted right after? And then I thought about, well, I didn't think. I watched this video from Billy, that TikTok creator, about like when the devil comes to you or whatever, and like what he wants an exchange, and he was saying he wants an exchange for something. So he was talking about when the devil comes for your soul, which in your soul is like your mind, your will, and your spirit or whatever. He was saying like the devil comes in exchange for that, because if he comes in exchange for your mind, you've lost your mind. If he comes in exchange for your soul, you fell for, like you're indulging in sin. And when he comes for your spirit, it's the same thing. But all comes to say, you're worshiping him, not God. And it was just like, the devil works to get something in exchange. And the devil wanted Jesus to call him God in exchange for what Jesus wanted. And come to think about what Jesus wanted, he tells him, the devil said to him, wait. He ate nothing during those days, and when they were over, he was hungry. He was hungry. And when I literally think about this, it's like, bro, Jesus was like genuinely on the verge. He was on the verge. Anyways, the devil said to him, if you are a son of God, command this stone to become bread. He wanted him to fall into temptation to eat. That's so simple. Like, you read this stuff and it sounds so freaking simple, but then you break it down and it's like, bro, I would have folded to tell me to turn it into the food after I'd been starving for 40 days. Anyways, then he took him up and showed him to all the kingdoms of the world in a single instant. He showed him all that Jesus needed to get to, like all the places that Jesus needed to help, because Jesus came down to come to everybody, but he hadn't came there yet because he had just started his ministries. And it says when he got baptized, he had just got like into his ministry. He was 30 years old or whatever. So he had just got into his ministry. He hasn't even covered everybody. He hasn't came to everybody. He wants to come to everybody. So the devil is tempting him and saying, I will give you everybody if you call me God. Bro. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I shall give to you all this power and their glory, for it has been handed over to me, and I may give it to you whoever I wish. And all this will be yours if you worship me. Jesus said to him, reply, it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and him alone shall you serve. Bro, this reminds me of another connection. This reminds me of whenever I was watching this, The Messenger, but like the animated version. Because my friends are Muslim, and we were like watching like some show, well, not some shows, this movie called The Messenger. And in the movie, like, these people are professing like there's only one God, and the prophet is Muhammad. And that's all they needed to say to piss everybody off. Like, they were like, just say there's other gods. Just say God is not real. And all they said was that same line over and over again. And then they killed them. But that's not the point. All you need to say is that you believe in God, and God is the only one. And that is enough to piss the devil off. That's all. Okay. And then he led him to Jerusalem and made him stand on the parapet of the temple and said to him, if you are the Son of God, throw yourself down from here. For it is written, you don't need to prove yourself. You do not need to prove yourself. God is real. Or like, you don't need to prove to other people that God is real, because your statements alone is enough. Like, that's what I'm saying. Saying that God is the only God and you being true in that is just enough to piss the devil off, bro. Oh, that was so good. Jesus said to him, reply, it also says, you shall not put the Lord your God to the test. Because when you test God, that's a whole other thing. I'm not getting into that. Because I don't even, my whole mindset was just thinking about the whole temptations and all that. I'm not getting into that right now. But When the devil had finished every temptation, he departed from him for a time. Because he knew he was not getting through. And that's what you have to do every single time. Oh, and I'm speaking this to myself. Because I literally struggle with, like, whatever and stuff. Look at me getting quiet and shy. But, yeah, I struggle with that. And this is just, like, so amazing. Like, it's just like a big explosion. What was I gonna say? This also can relate back to, I forgot what verse it is, but it's in Matthew, when God talks about, like, when you have sin that is, like, eating you up, cut it off. You gotta cut it off. He was like, when there is, like, sin in your hand or something, cut it off. When there's sin in your foot, cut it off. And you gotta be quick with it, because then the devil's gonna keep tempting you. So it's just like, you gotta, like, recognize what's going on spiritually. So then, because you have been filled with the Holy Spirit, so then you can recognize what's going on. You have discernment to stop what's happening or to protect yourself. But then when you choose to give in and be tempted by the devil, that's what hinders you. That's what kills you. And that's just like the whole reason why Jesus was down here in the first place, bro. God was trying to give us a message, like, stop, like, killing your soul. Stop hindering your life. So, wow, that was just so good. It's just so good how everything, like, connects. Like, you wouldn't think, like, I swear, guys, when I read this stuff, I'm like, what is this gibberish? What is going on? But, like, now it's making sense. It's making sense. This is so cray-cray. I'm so hyped. This is so good, though. So good. But yeah, I just had to get that out before, like, my brain would explode from, like, just too much information, and then I couldn't connect it all. It was just so cray-cray. That was cray-cray. Anyways.